What's up guys, Momojiris here. So, you now know about Yu-Gi-Oh, huh? Let's learn a little bit more, shall we? Well, let's start with monsters. What is a monster card? Well, there are a few things you should know about them. Monster cards are one of the three types of cards you will find in a main deck. You'll want to balance between monsters, spells, and traps, or you'll find that you're very limited in what you're able to do on your turn. Monster cards have a few things to look at, but also there are 10 different kinds of monsters. You have normal, effect, trap, token, fusion, ritual, synchro, exceed, pendulum, and link monsters. If you want to learn about each of these different monster cards, please click on the appropriate videos. So, let's look at the monster's level. Each monster you have in your main deck will have a level between 1 and 12. Monsters with a higher level generally have a higher attack stat than lower levels, but monsters at the lower levels do tend to have easier and sometimes better effects than those at a higher level. Also, the level of the monster will determine how easy it is to summon. Now, some monsters, instead of levels, have ranks, pendulum scales, or link ratings, so look out for the differences in your cards. I will go over all of these differences in a different video. Next, let's look at the attribute. Each monster will have one of 7 attributes. The attributes are dark, light, wind, earth, water, fire, and divine. There is sometimes entire decks based off of just one attribute, so be aware of that when making a deck. There are also decks that use 2 or more attributes. Take Tri-Brigade monsters. They have Beast, Wing Beast, and Beast Warriors in their deck. Beasts are normally earth, and Wing Beasts are wind. So there are some attribute matchups that really work well together. Next, we talked a little about it, but let's get into the types. There are 24 types of monsters in total. There are spellcasters, dragons, zombies, warriors, beasts, beast warriors, winged beasts, machines, insects, fiends, fairies, reptiles, aquas, sea serpents, fish, dinosaurs, psychics, worms, cybers, pyros, plants, thunders, rocks, and of course, divine beasts. Similar to attributes, there are decks that use only one type of monster, while others can use multiple types. Also take Shaddolls. They have spellcasters, psychics, and beasts. Also look at Virtual World. Their entire deck is just psychic monsters. Some decks, like the Dark Magician, will use nothing but spellcasters, while the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck will use nothing but dragons. Some duelists will base their entire personalities around a certain type and only use monsters and types that include those. Next, we go into the big text box at the bottom. Inside this text box, you either have a flavor text, which is only on normal monsters, which give you a little story about the card or the deck they're from, or you'll see the effect this monster can have or use. Some effect monsters are very powerful, so read the cards carefully to use this effect to the fullest. But we are Yu-Gi-Oh players, so reading is not really our strong suit. There are some monsters that have an additional ability as well. They have Flip, Tune, Union, Gemini, Spirit, and Tuner monsters. There's videos for each one of those as well. Now, the last part of the monster is its attack and defense points. Monsters use their attack points to destroy other monsters and inflict damage to your opponent, while monsters use their defense points to protect themselves and your life points from attacks. Monsters will generally have an attack and defense stat from 0 to 5,000, so be mindful of that when building your deck. However, there are some decks where all the monsters have 0 attack points, but have effects that could turn the tide of the duel and stop your opponent in their tracks. Take Time Lords. All these monsters have 0 attack and defense, but their effects can be devastating, from taking all your opponent's monsters or their spells and traps and shuffling back into the deck, or back into their hand, sending them to the graveyard, or inflicting damage to your opponent. So, we know all about monsters. Let's figure out how to summon them, shall we? Monsters can be summoned in a few different ways. They could be normal summoned, normal set, or special summoned. Let's go over each one. Each player is allowed to normal summon or set a monster once per turn. You can normal summon a monster in face-up attack or set it in face-down defense. When a monster is in attack mode, it can attack your opponent's other monsters or attack your opponent's life points directly. When a monster is in defense, it cannot attack, but it can stop your opponent from dealing damage to your life points. A monster that is level 4 or lower can be normal summoned or set to the field for free. A monster that is level 5 or 6 can be normal summoned by tributing one monster on your side of the field and sending it to the graveyard. This is called a tribute summon, which is a way to normal summon a monster, and this counts as your only one normal summon. A monster that is level 7 or higher will need 2 monsters to be used as tribute to summon it. Just be aware that most monsters above level 8 have effects that will not let them be normal summoned the same way. Take the 3 Egyptian god cards, Slifer, Obelisk, and Ra. All 3 of them are level 10, but their effects make it so that you have to tribute 3 monsters to normal summon them, but they cannot be normal set. Now, special summoning. There is no limit to the amount of times you could special summon in one turn. There are some decks that can special summon more than 35 times in one turn. You could special summon monsters in face-up attack or face-up defense. There are some cards like the Shadow monsters that will allow you to special summon them in face-down defense position. All you have to do is read the card and fulfill its requirements to be able to special summon the monster. So, this is the video explaining all about monster cards. Now, we will still have to go over the different kinds of monsters like Synchros and Exceeds, but I think each of those deserve a separate video so you can really understand what each different kind of monster is and how you can summon them. If you've been enjoying these videos, please leave a like, a comment about your favorite part of monster, and if you base your decks on something in particular, and subscribe to the channel so you get more guys like this as well. And don't forget to share this around so other people can get an explanation as well. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll catch you later. Peace!